right. The Pacers might as well already trash this year because it's obviously going to be difficult for them to win games without their main rotation, especially their primary ball handlers, and that's to be expected missing Tyrese, TJ, Nembhard, and even Mathurin. Those four are very comfortable manipulating screening actions and playing with pace to create a flow, but this current rotation are obviously not as comfortable in that role because a lot of them just aren't used to being responsible for triggering the scramble. They're used to usually being the recipient of that on the catch, so they're not able to really shift the defense with their side-to-side play the way those four can. Even worse, they're also just not that proficient on ones, because they're not able to consistently beat their man off the dribble or make tough shots. So when their offense gets stagnant, there's nothing to show for it, and there's just a very apparent identity crisis for them, especially when Siakam is off the floor. He's really the only consistent source of offense, because he can create his own shot or draw help to create one for the others. So if it weren't for him, and also all the transition opportunities that kept leading to a lot of runouts and a lot more whistles, the Pacers probably wouldn't have been able to stay afloat throughout. At least the Bucks are going through their own identity crisis after losing Dame, but they still have a healthy Giannis, and that's really all that matters, because he's able to consistently generate offense for them whenever he has the rock. I've noticed they've had him handling it more as a one a lot of the times, and they've been running the usual inverteds or big to big with Miles for him, but he's been able to mix up his touches again, either in his spots or as a screener, because Rollins has emerged as a trusted ball handler. He's shown he's capable of making the right reads in his screening actions, so it's just a matter of reps for him to continue on this trajectory, and even Cole Anthony was showing the same when he ran that second unit, because whenever he saw a drop, he exploited that space. Then whenever he saw a show, he got off the rock quick for the others to play the advantage. He consistently made the right pass no matter what coverage he saw, so between him hitting the lifts, drifts, and sprays, Rollins doing the same, and Giannis kicking out in his spots whenever the Pacers fired, those three were generating quality shots from deep, but it took until the second half before the others were able to convert on him. I wouldn't even say their looks changed from the first half, so it was just a matter of the second unit finally making shots, and at least it was better late than never, because those led to the crucial stretch late in the third or early in the fourth for them to take control of the game. All the starting unit had to do was kill it in the last 7 minutes, but surprisingly, they struggled to, because just putting the rock in Giannis' hands wasn't working, and even more surprisingly, the Pacers finally got going on the other end. The Bucks could not contain the rock, and they weren't as consistent with their backside help as they were in the previous quarters, so the Pacers just got to live at the rim, and once they got into a rhythm off those easy ones, they just started walking the Bucks down, because they were gradually shifting the momentum in their favor. A lot of it was stemming from Siakam, because they just put the rock in his hands, so it was basically a battle of the stars throughout. But unfortunately for them, Giannis won that, and fortunately for the Bucks, he actually made the fade to call game, because that was the most unexpected winner from him. It definitely helped that it was tied, because there's less pressure knowing at least there'll be OT if he misses, and with the Pacers deciding to send help late, he just got the final say. This was basically Giannis kicking a dog when it's already down, because this is as bad as a loss gets for the Pacers on top of a disastrous start to the year. But sometimes karma comes around when it's least expected, and I just know this was the revenge he's been wanting for a long time. Just watch the tape.